What's up, guys? Welcome to part 3 of rod building for beginners. In this episode, we're going to fit up the Cork handle and the reel seat, so stick around. You have 3 pieces, right? You're going to have your rear grip, which is going to fit in your reel seat, okay? And then you have the butt grip that's going to be covered by the butt cap. Well, right now, you got a 1/4 inch diameter hole, right? Won't exactly go in it. Okay. So this is where you get to use your sandpaper on a stick. Okay, so what you typically do is you will start with the smallest one, which is this one, and you're going to fit it in here till it snugs up, and you're going to start slowly working it all the way through, spinning it as you go. So you get all the way down to the end, okay? You don't want to force the cork, and then you go to your next one. So put that one away, get your next size up, okay, and keep working on it. And you want to try to keep your dust over here, unlike what I just did. You keep working, don't want to push so much as you want to turn more than push, because cork is very tender.
All right, it is tight. So should I go back to
keep
the
going
one size?
Keep going, no, just keep working on it.
Okay.
And then, since we do have some time limitations here, I'm going to show you how I do them.
The reason why he won't let me in the rod shop.
Let me have that baby right quick. Let me show you how to get this done. Okay, so you've got it reamed out, taking an hour with your hand reamers, okay? So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna slide it on here, and with cork, you really don't wanna force it, so it's gonna have to slide down, and you want it to be loose, so that's as far as we got, but we were actually trying to come to here.
Okay.
A little bit at a time, okay? So grab this. We'll put a hot battery in this, baby. And keep going very carefully, not over your table. Keep turning it. Okay.
Next size.
Blow the dust out. Check it on your bike.
Okay. So I'm all set.
It'll stand up. It'll stand up. There you go. Check it on your bike.
Gosh. Very gentle.
It's going to slide it over the tape a little bit. There you go. And how far down does it go?
About right there. Okay.
All right, now pull it off. All right, while you do that, I'll switch. Okay, so you're getting close. So you got to be very careful. You don't want to you want it to be loose, but you don't want to over. Stop. Check it again. Yeah, this is one of the steps that you definitely want to do outside. You don't want to do this in the dining room, because this is dusty and you'll get yelled at.
Unless you live with yourself.
Unless you live by yourself, and then you still got stuff. There's another part to this that you don't want to do where there's a lot of dust around. All right, so where are you at? You still snug?
Right there. Snug.
All right, so I want you to see, like, that's too snug for cork.
Okay.
Cork is very tender, it'll break. So you want it to where it's just, that's where we're gonna glue it up, all right?
Okay.
So you can see, you still gotta ream down to get it to here. Just don't go too far. Keep checking. This may take you an hour to do the first one.
And that butt goes forward, correct?
Yep. That's your tenon that's going to fit into your reel seat. Okay, we need to keep this tape intact. Okay, because that's how we're going to set the reel seat. You getting close?
Oops.
A little bit further. Yep, that's you got about half of it that time, so keep going.
All right, one more time and it should be good. Let's set this down.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, that's perfect. You want it a little snug. Yep, that'll be fine. Okay, so the one thing we didn't do, and we didn't do it intentionally, is a lot of people will start with the butt grip, and what I found is you know how far you have to go to get to here. Mm-hmm. So you know you're gonna go at least this far to get to here.
Okay.
That's when you're reaming, so we'll start reaming this, but you will start with a small one.
And this sit just like this. Okay.
Yep. And keep going. Now you want to turn either the drill or, there you go, because it'll work at the one side if you're not careful. Okay.
Okay, we'll take this one off.
Yep. Next size up. And stop it. All right, so you gotta watch when you're reaming this that you're staying even on your tenon here. See how this is a little thinner than this side is?
Okay.
That means that you're not putting equal pressure on it, so you gotta spin that a little more.
Third size, and
Yeah, it's close enough. I mean, you can see what I'm talking about here, where, you know, the tenon is ground a little more on this side than it is on this. It's not gonna be dead center, but only you and I and, you know, 100,000 people who watch this video on YouTube are gonna know it's not. But honestly, when you get it on the rod, you can't tell. And I'll show you how to fix that. So let's go to the next side. I'll help you. I'll help you center it back up. Because as this tenon's getting thinner, it gets very paper-like, and we may be down close to nothing. And if it breaks, that's no big deal. We can fix it. I'll show you how to do that. All right, see if that's gonna fit.
from the front.
You can go either way. If it probably won't go on that end. You don't really want it to. Even if it's that loose though, I can show you how to fix that later too. It's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. This is not an exact science. So get past that tape. Still a little snug.
Yeah, still a little snug. We get about right there.
Okay, so pull it back off. Spin it. There you go. And we'll touch it up just a hair more.
Not necessary, but it helps to have electric tools.
Yeah, we'd still be on the second one from the rear grip. See how it's starting to split right there, the cork is on the tenon?
Yep.
It's very tender at this point. So when you slide it on here, and here's how I do this, grab it, don't pull your tape off, all right, so grab it in the middle. All right, so you want to be able to reach, and then just switch hands. And that's perfect. It's a little loose, which is exactly what you want. All right, so we're gonna go in a stand and we'll put the rear grip on. And then we'll get ready to glue it up. So we're gonna get ready to glue up. So guys, stick around, we'll be right back. Okay, now we've got the cork grips reamed out to the right size. This one's pretty snug. This one's a little loose. I'll show you how to fix that real quick before we start gluing. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna mark where it is. Then you take your 1/2" tape and we're gonna build an arbor in there. What we're gonna do is just go. We'll do one wrap at a time because you're pretty close. And we just want it where it's just snugged up. You see that? So what'll happen with that masking tape is it will fill up with the paste. The glue paste will actually absorb into it, so it's gonna be fine. The other thing we wanna do, we could use the winding checks, which would go up here, but I'm gonna show you how to do that with thread when we go to wrapping. It's a prettier look, I think. But that's what those rubber pieces, the rubber pieces are, and they will slide up here, up tight to your cork pieces. And it's supposed to be a finished look. I'll show you how to do a little flashier wrap to go in there. So, all right, so now we're ready to glue. So we're gonna take our 2-part epoxy paste here, which is very well wrapped. I buy these in a quart size because they use a lot of it, but this is all you're gonna need for this one rod. And it's equal parts of both. And you're gonna always use 2 different popsicle sticks because you don't want one part mixing the other, messing up your whole batch, right? So we're gonna take, you're not gonna need that much. So we're gonna take that much of the part A of the resin. And we're gonna take this, the same amount of the part B, which is the hardener. And you don't have to be exact, but you see how that's pretty similar, right? So this is where your time starts ticking. So here's how I do it. So we're just mixing these up so that you see 2 colors now, right? You have a white and you have a dark tan. So if you just mix it where you get one color, that's all you really need to do. And once you start mixing these together, your clock starts ticking. Now this is, I think this is 4-hour set. I use a 15-minute set just to speed things up. So what you're gonna do is you wanna slide these out of the way. Okay. Let's make a mark here so you know how far. To paste. All right, so you're gonna take your popsicle stick and you're gonna smear it on like this, coating, right, and turning. Take your left hand, you're gonna be turning the rod. You're gonna smear it on, and then the same thing in the back is you're gonna start here where your mark is. This is where your tenon is, and you're gonna smear it here, and you're gonna smear it on, and then this one's pretty snug, so you basically want to smear it on, scrape it off.
Okay.
All right, so left hand on the rod, right hand with the smearing.
So start off here.
Yep, just smear it.
Smear it on.
Yep.
And kind of try and coat evenly.
You're not building a piano, so just smear it on there. It won't, just keep turning and smearing. It does not have to be that precise. You just don't want too much. All right, that's got a good coat on it. All right, start on your rear grip one.
Okay. I'll go from here.
So just, let me show you a quick trick.
What's quick trick?
All right, so you started here.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna turn and just smear and turn. See how it's like a barber's pole kind of thing? Yep. And you can pull it down. And you got a little extra built up, and you start again. Or you just smear it, because you're not gonna need that much, because you're gonna wind up squeezing most of this out when you slide the handle down on there. Okay?
Okay.
Got it? All right, so let's do the rear grip. So we didn't use hardly half of it, right? But this is not bad yet. We've still got an hour or so on this. We'll use it on the real seat here in a bit.
Okay.
So first thing you want to do, left hand on the rod, turn and slide it down till the end of the tenon is at the end of the blank.
Okay.
Okay. So now you're just going to pull a piece of paper towel
And wipe it clean flush.
douse it in alcohol, and then you're gonna turn and wipe. And let it peel off.
Turn and wipe.
Yeah, that'll work. All right, you got most of it off. Now here's how I do it.
Okay.
So what'll happen here, instead of it piling up and smearing, I'm gonna slide it back down a little bit. So if you take it, and as you're turning, you move where the paper towel is hitting the cork, you got a clean piece of paper towel hitting it at all times. So you've got it all off. See how that worked?
Okay.
Let's clean it up a little bit before this starts setting. Slide it down where it's still flush. We'll just wipe it clean, cork's clean. All right, now start down here with this one.
Okay.
Okay, so start wiping this down now.
Okay.
Just hold it and do what I showed you before. Just
As I twist,
as you twist, you're moving your paper towel as you twist.
So you get a clean side.
Yep.
Comes off a lot better that way.
Doesn't it?
Nice
Okay.
trick to the trade.
All right, so now we're gonna look at where your mark was for your board, which is right there. You rubbed the pencil off when you were sliding the cord down.
Haha.
So now this is what's important, and this is where your reel seat's going to line up. So you have your reel seat. It's going to be super sloppy on there. It's going to fit up on the tenon, but you have this gap at the front, right?
Okay.
So what you're going to do is mark where the front of the reel seat is, and you're going to build an arbor. So this is marked, so you want to come back about a ½ inch from your mark and start your tape. And you're going to need a bunch of rolls. So what I do is take your left hand and spin the rod and leave the tape in and pull the tape on it. There you go. Keep going, a little faster. All right, now break the tape. Pull it down tight. And now slide it out and check it, and just don't push. You just want to feel how much wobble you have. Okay, you got a wobble, so you're going to need a couple more turns around the tape there to build it up a little more.
Okay.
Just stick it down good. Nope.
Nope.
All right.
Haha.
Got. Start again.
One, two, about 3 or 4.
Yeah, about 3. We can always take it back off if it's too tight. All right, go ahead and break it there. All right, slide it up on it. Get too tight, pretty snug.
Pretty snug.
All right, pull it back off and take a one turn off of it. That's good.
One.
Tear it off. Don't have to be so ginger with it. You always want to tear it down too. Okay, and then pull it up in there, still snug. Okay, that's good. Don't push, because you remember, this is where we have the tape, so we make sure it doesn't move, okay? We also have this, which is going to be our mark for the center of our reel seat. All right, now what I like to do is, I'll do this for you real quick, since we don't want to let that paste set, is I'll build intermediate ones.
for the strength, or?
It just gives you better contact. And so you're gonna have epoxy hump, and you have epoxy in here too. All right, so now smear the rest of this epoxy from here all the way back to the reel seat. Okay. Scoop it on there because you're gonna have to fill up that gap.
Fill both gaps.
Yep. Alright, keep gooping it on there. You don't have nearly enough on there yet. You're gonna need pretty much all of that.
Now I go from this front of the tape all the way back to the second tape.
That would get to the edge of the tape, edge of the front of the tape too. Even pack it up in there. There you go. We can wipe up any excess with paper towels. Okay, because what you want to do is saturate that tape so it becomes a solid glue. The tape is the binder in it. You just keep pulling all the way back. And you want to go all the way back to your cork now. You want to get that piece of blank covered. All right, let me show you a quick trick.
Good, quick trick.
Okay, so one thing you want to do is make sure too that you get your cork. It's not gonna hurt anything to get it on the cork. We can wipe it off. But you want to get it all pulled back here. And then I lay it in here and spin it just to make sure that front tape is coated good. All right, so now what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab the reel seat and spin the blank as you pull it back. Spin it a little faster, because what you're doing is you're pushing all that extra epoxy and out the hold, easy. All right, now spin it, see how it's building up right here? Spin it more and push it less. Just keep spinning it. All right, keep it spinning. Pull it up in there, up tight. Make sure you're not pushing back past your tape here. And then you're gonna line up with your arrow with the top. You get that where you want?
Looks.
You sure? Look down it.
Yep.
Okay. What you're gonna do is turn that back. You don't have any epoxy out here that's gonna be a problem. We'll wipe up just a hair. Right here. And then I'm gonna tape that reel seat just so it doesn't move while we're cleaning the rest of it, okay? And if it does move, you can tell it moved, because the tape's gonna be twisted. All right, so take your... All right, so you're spinning again, left hand, and you're just barely, you get it saturated in alcohol?
Yes.
Okay, just barely turn it and make sure you're pulling that tape, or pulling the rag, and peeling that extra epoxy off so it's not smearing it as you're turning. All right, throw that one away. We'll get you another one. Always use clean. So you get all that epoxy off. One more time. You got it?
Looks pretty clean. Looks clean.
Looks good. Okay, so the last thing that we would do is just check that's in the right spot. We're not going to glue the butt cap on yet, and I'll show you why after this sets. We're going to balance this rod. In an hour, real time we set up. We reamed. We cheated with power tools, but you got them, you might as well use them. We cheated with power tools. We reamed the cork to fit, or we did the layout, we reamed the cork to fit. We've now glued up the cork and the reel seat on a blank, and we're about a third of the way through of the work involved in building a rod. Now, it only takes about 4.5 hours of work time to build a rod. but you've got 8 hours several times in between steps, just so you can get epoxy to cure and be ready for your next one. Because if we continue from here, we're gonna turn this. So we're gonna let this dry overnight, and we'll be back tomorrow. So this is step one in putting your first rod together. Like I said, we got an hour in this. We're gonna let it dry overnight, and we'll be back tomorrow to finish up. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.